gas. Yeah, now you have a smile. You were cranky for a quick second. That's it. Are you still pushing? I'm gonna change your diaper. And then I need you to relax so I can pump. I need you to just play so I can pump. Is that okay? ¿Está bien? Sí, ¿dónde está la sonrisa de mamá? ¿Una sonrisa? Okay, stinky diaper off. Definitely recommend multiple changing stations around the house. Even if your house is not big or 2 stories, it just makes sense. Whoa. Good morning officially. It has been a different morning. I thought that I was going to be able to pump before he got up this morning, but he decided to wake up early. So then I had to feed him, and now we're in playtime, change the diaper. Now we're going to pump. So in today's video, I'm going to go over today's pumping and breastfeeding journey or day. I say today because it's been different every day. I don't have anything consistent, and we just got back from vacation, so I feel like I'm trying to reamp. I'm trying to get a schedule, especially considering that I want to make sure I have enough for what he's consuming in a day, and as of today I am not. So I just wanted to share with you guys. Come along with me. If you guys have any questions, comments, compliments, concerns, leave them down below. Salud, mi amor. Okay, you can't see anything on camera. Okay, so I just want to make sure you guys cannot see anything inappropriate on camera, but I'm gonna start pumping and just talk to you guys a little bit about this journey, which is really a roller coaster, to put it lightly, and I'm scared of roller coasters. So all right, you guys, so let's get into a couple different topics. One thing I want to talk about is kind of where we're at right now and what we're planning, what our goals are with him right now is for him to start sleeping through the night. He does not sleep through the night. He is now in this new phase where he's not sleeping through the entire night, but he's also not like waking up to play. He just wakes up. It's very like transactional. Like he just wakes up, gets on the boob, and then goes back to sleep. So he eats about 3 to 5 minutes and then is gone, knocked out. But he's been waking up every hour and a half, which is just way too much, and it's exhausting. So I did a little bit of Google, and I figured that he's not consuming enough calories in an entire day that will help him sleep through the night. So throughout the night he's actually hungry, and the reason I do believe he's just hungry is because he doesn't wake up to play. He's not like, oh hey mom, what's going on, like let's just do something. He literally gets on the boob, eats, and falls right back to sleep, and I put him back in his crib. So I'm trying this app where it's called Huckleberry, and I'll share it with you guys. If anything, I'll go ahead and also leave it in the description so you guys can check it out. I do like it so far. So what I've been doing is, hang on, so I gotta change this. After 3 minutes, I let it express my boob. I believe that's what it's called, express and massage. And then I changed the attention to how many ounces he's drinking. And this is why I've chosen to also pump. Well, initially I started pumping because I was so engorged, and then I realized that I was pumping for a very long time, so I also added to my engorgement, and I did have an oversupply according to my lactation specialist. So now I feel like it's more intentional because I can track what he's eating in a day versus just, here's the boob, I don't know how much you're eating, I don't know where I can help you, I don't know where I can increase. And also I wanted my own personal stash, so pumping has been able to help with the multiple things, right? It's not for everybody, but it doesn't, I don't think, works 100% for everybody. So that's where I'm at right now. So for example, on Sunday I started giving him bottles as soon as he wakes up. I give him bottle from when he wakes up until he goes to sleep. And so on Sunday he drank 21.5 ounces from a bottle. That's not counting overnight. I'm only tracking from like morning when he wakes up all the way until he goes to bed. And then on Monday he drank 24 ounces, so he increased. On Tuesday he drank 25.5 ounces, and on Wednesday he drank 26 ounces. So I've noticed an increase, and yesterday was the first little bit of improvement in his sleep. Yeah, keep facial, mi amor. So yesterday I noticed a little bit of a better sleep, thank God. So I think it is working. I think it's too soon to track because I obviously haven't reached his amount of calories that he should be having in a day, which I was told by a lactation specialist it should be 27 to 32. He is 3 months old. And yeah, so he's at 26 ounces as of yesterday. And last night he went to sleep, and oh my God, I think he did like, so he did 7:45 p.m. to about 2 a.m. But I did do a dream feed in between that at 9:30. So about 9:30, maybe 9:45, I did a dream feed of 3.5 ounces or so. And then yeah, and then he didn't wake up until 2 a.m. and then from 2 a.m. he didn't wake up until 4 a.m. so that was just about 2 hours. He ate at 2 a.m. he did eat from the boob, and from 4 a.m. he did eat from the boob, and then he didn't wake up until about 7:45 this morning, which is way better than an hour and a half. The goal is an overnight. That's the goal, right? That's, I think, everybody's goal. But yeah, so I feel like it's helping. I wanted to track this, to track for his 3 month. I wanted to also track to see if it's working, to see if I need to go back to this video and help myself in the future. So yeah, so I'm going to keep pumping. My first pump as of today, it is at 8:30, which I'm gonna track that here as well. So I'll go to pumping and then I'll put 8:30, and then at the end of my pumping, I'm gonna put how much I pumped. What's good about also tracking what you pump is making sure that I'm making as much as he's drinking, if not a little bit more, because I would like to have an oversupply. So yeah, so as of right now, I'm gonna pump 8 minutes on one side and 8 minutes on the other, and then I'm going to pump in 3 hours. So I'll see you guys in 3 hours. So I made 140 milliliters, I mean 4.73 ounces. I added it to my app and it calculated it for me. Okay, so this is what I made from both breasts. This is why I only use one, because then I have 2 dirty pumps and then I have to wash both of them. Instead I just wash one and I have one ready for the next pumping sesh. I'm gonna put it in this to save into the refrigerator. So you can see it a little bit better there, but I'm gonna save this, refrigerate it, and then I'll probably bag it tonight. All right, you guys, so we just finished library day con mi hijo, and this is his little arts and crafts that we finished. So cute. It's so cute. He ended up with 3 toes, which is totally fine. She suggested like, oh, just color in a finger or 2, but I'm like, nope, that's what happened, that's what's gonna be there. So anyway, so it's been 3 hours since I last pumped. We still have to go run another errand, so I'm gonna pump now. Yeah, I'm gonna pump now and just have that handy with me. The baby still has an extra bottle here available to him because I didn't know how hungry he was gonna be while we were here. I'm probably gonna give this to him now, and then what I pump is gonna be available to him if he's hungry while we're still out and about. If not, then I'll refrigerate it once I get home. But yeah, every 3 hours. I did bring this with me with the other single bottle right there, and then I'm gonna put it in this bottle when I'm done. We do have a hands-free pump. The only thing is that it's been very disappointing to use it, so I'm not gonna use it right now just because I don't want to run the risk of not having it for him available, especially when we're out on the street. I'm gonna test it out again once we're home, make sure it's still working. It probably is working, it's just that your boob will get used to a certain type of pump, so that's,
it doesn't suck as strong as the other one.
Exactly, so it's just been very disappointing right now. So anyways, let's get into this pumping. I'm gonna do 8 minutes on each side, just the way I did this morning, and then I'll show you guys what I get out of that. Thank you tripod. All right, you guys, we got to our next destination. The baby has only drank half of what he had here, which is 3.5 he had, and now he has about 1.5. This is what I made on the way here. So this is about 3 ounces. This is both boobs, so I did 8 and 8 minutes on each side. And now I'm gonna put it in the next bottle, and this should be good for the next 4 hours. I'm pretty sure he's gonna eat it before then, but this is good for 4 hours at room temperature. And then this he's gonna finish while we're out and about right now. He's just taking a little break.
There it is.
He's just taking a little break. So yeah, I would consider this pretty low, but this is my second pump of the day. I also was just at the library, and for that entire hour I didn't drink an ounce of water, so I just chugged a whole bunch of water right now. I'm gonna chug some more, and then I'll pump again in 3 hours. Bye guys, we are back. I am running a little behind on my pumping. I wanted to try to stick within 3 to 4 hours, and I'm literally at 4 hours and 12 minutes. My son was napping in my arms, but that was okay because I had the pumps getting where I washed them, and then they get dried and sterilized. So I put those to do that, and it literally just finished right now when I went to go put them on the bed. So this is the cool thing about this app. So this is a really cool thing about this app is that it's tracking when I put for my pumping schedule, and it'll let me know you did it 3 hours ago, you did it 4 hours and 12 minutes ago, and 3 hours goes by so fast when all of a sudden you have so much to do in between. And so I like that because then it'll let me know if I'm like a little bit over, it'll let me know if I'm, you know, running a little behind, or like how consistent have I been with every 3 hours. And also I really like the app because let's say tomorrow, or you know, I'm trying to improve somewhere, or I feel like I can cut back a little bit somewhere, I can see exactly where with this schedule. So like that's what I've been doing with feeding him. It's kind of like, okay, yesterday he woke up later than usual, so if I wake him up a little bit earlier in the day, he could start consuming his calories throughout the day. So yeah, so now we are on our, what pumping is this? I have pumped. I am still getting used to the app, but I have pumped 1, 2, so this is my third pump of the day, and it is 3 o'clock, 3:22. And I'm gonna do 8 minutes on this side, 8 minutes on this side. Yesterday I did 7 minutes each side, each pump session. So I'm gonna try to increase to about 10 minutes. And with this app again, I'll be able to see where I'm at. Like, hey, for a couple days I did 8 minutes and I was only reaching this amount. And then I'll do 10 minutes at a time and see how much more I can get. I did speak to a lactation specialist. She did say that it takes about 48 hours for your body to realize what's the new routine or like adjust. So I'm gonna give it a couple days, just like I am with feeding him more calories during the day. I'm gonna give it a couple days before I make any other adjustments and see where he's at. Well, also last week we went on vacation, and it was really scary that your milk can literally drop for being an oversupplier and not having to feel like you have to worry about making milk. I did have to worry about, I did get mastitis, which I will talk to you guys about later. I got a lot of engorgement and a lot of discomfort, but I never had a lack of milk. So once I went on vacation, 2 days later, my milk dropped so much that at one point I was literally only making half an ounce. So I ended up having to pump 3 times just to get one meal for my son. So that was so difficult and really scary. And I didn't have my backup stash. Then my stress ended up kicking in. So basically, once we realized how much it dropped, we were like, all right, let's focus back on my protein, because we were at Disney World. So I was eating carbs, I was eating sugar, I was eating junk, I was eating anything but like a whole real meal, you know what I mean? And my water, drinking water definitely lacked as well. So I ended up making sure I drank a gallon of water. Immediately I just started chugging. I drank some electrolytes, and then I ended up making sure that I had a protein shake, protein meals. Like, we even went to Publix. My husband got a little rotisserie chicken, and I made sure I ate chicken and rice. I was just like, I was trying anything. I felt so bad that I didn't realize how much your food and water intake could impact your milk supply. And then by 2 days after I was hitting it hard, my milk started coming back up. We drove back home. Literally, the pump that I made at the well, I would say, yeah, once I arrived to the house, I made like 4 ounces, and I was struggling just to make an ounce. And I was doing 20 minutes. Like, I was just like, pull whatever you can, like my baby needs to eat. The great thing is that we had the option is we were able to go to a store if we needed to for formula. We didn't end up doing that at all, just because of how much I was just like, no, focus on just pumping. And yeah, so we ended up not having to use formula. We got here, and I do believe that the stress of not having the backup stash impacted it. So when we got here, immediately I started going into my stash. So that is something that I noticed with my supply. I've been eating more meals. I'm not eating healthy or like extreme diet. What I'm doing is just making sure I get enough protein, enough water, just making sure I'm eating real meals, right? So yeah, so I just wanted to share that with you guys. If you guys are on that bus right now, I totally understand how stressful that can be. And then they tell you don't stress, because then it's gonna make it worse, or you're gonna lack more milk, and you can't help it. Like, it's so stressful to think that you cannot provide for your son. So anyways, I hope that helps for anybody that's out there that is attempting this. Again, disclaimer, there's no wrong way of making sure your son is being fed. Like formula, bottle fed, breast, all of that good stuff. It's just something that I really want to work on. And since I'm willing to take that on, and I'm willing to try to figure this out as long as I can, I understand that there might not be, that there might not be a milk supply forever. So I'm going to try as much as I can for as long as I can. But yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying this video. I'm trying to think of things that I can give you guys during these sessions that I've been through. Doesn't mean you have to take it. It's just something I'm willing to offer. And yeah, are there any other breastfeeding mamas out there that are... This is a roller coaster. Like, who would have thought? I'm an oversupplier. Then I got mastitis. Then I lost my supply. Then I picked it back up, but now I'm not making enough for him in one day. So now I'm trying to up it a little bit, but I'm just too scared to do too much because I don't want to get engorged again. I don't want to have mastitis when I'm trying to cut back. Like, it's just a wild cycle. But we'll see you guys in a few, okay? I'll let you guys know what I end up completing, because I'm gonna do 8 minutes on this side, 8 minutes on this side, and then I'll show you guys. So I'm done pumping that third sesh. This is what I got out of both of them. So as you can tell, it's a little bit more. Let's see. It's almost at 4.5 ounces. It's more than my second sesh, which was about 3 and some change. I did start drinking water since then, so that's, I believe, what helps. This is what I pumped earlier for my first session. So my second pump, he ended up drinking while we were out and about, which is totally fine. This is from my first one. It is already cold in the refrigerator. Then I got another empty bottle to put this in. What I prefer is to not mix those two. I wish I didn't wish that on myself and just made it easier and put it all together and not worry about cleaning more bottles, but this is what I do, and I'm gonna put it in this empty bottle, and then I'll put this to wash again. And now I have these two, so once this cools down, I'll transfer it over to this one, and this will be empty for my next pump session. And then by tonight, what I'll do, sorry, just eating an orange. What I'll do tonight is bag whatever I can out of these two bottles. If I ended up like maxing these out before like my last pump, I'll just start bagging as soon as I can. It's not a big deal. But I'll show you guys that once we get there. All right, you guys, welcome back. We are on pump number 4. And literally my schedule says I pumped 2 hours and 52 minutes ago, so it's right on the dot of 3 hours that I want to hit. The baby is napping, and he's actually napping alone, so I'm gonna just jump on it right now and try to get this over with. So this is pump number 4, and so far, all that background noise, sorry, is my husband. So far I am producing, oh shoot, the baby woke up. So as of right now, I produce 11.23 ounces, so about 11 ounces today, and the baby has 8.22 ounces. So that just goes to show that I'm still not producing enough, that I'm not producing. That just goes to show that I'm not producing the amount that he's eating currently. So I'm going to have to start increasing to 10 minutes now. And even if nothing, if you have noticed that if you're pumping and then there's nothing coming out for a few moments, se levantó el bebé, se levantó el niño, está bien. Está bien, ahorita acabo rápido, ¿ok, mi amor? Ay, bebé. So if you notice that you have it on and there's nothing coming out, I've been told by lactation specialists just to keep it on. Like, if that's your goal, is to keep producing, just leave it on as you're going.
Remember in this year, I got the 2 minutes that are coming out. Like nothing, and then,
yeah, so like you're still stimulating it to keep requesting for more. So you'll see a couple of drops. So I'm still gonna be doing it until, I think today I'm gonna start doing 10 minutes, because it's gonna take at least, let's say, right, 2 days for it to respond. I need to make sure I'm drinking enough water too. So yeah, I think I'm gonna start doing 10 minutes each side. And now, if I start doing that, then I'll just wear both bottles so that I don't do 10 and 10. I just do 10 in total. You know what I mean? 10 together instead of in total. So, yeah, that's where we're at. This is why I love the app, because it's literally showing me that I'm not currently producing what he's consuming, which is fine. Thank God I have my backup stash. Thank God I'm still able to eat and be at home and do this, right? And drink enough water. So I've also been tracking his naps. He has taken in total 2 hours and 37 of sleep time since he woke up. So it's not a lot, but I would like to see if he's doing better at night when he sleeps a little bit less, or does he need more sleep in order to sleep at night? Because obviously I've been told you don't want a baby that's overly tired. So I just want to make sure, and this is a great way to see, like, okay, based off of him sleeping 2 hours and 37 minutes, what's his mood like? Is he sleepy? Is he tired? Is he fussy? Is he happy? Is he energized? So, and then especially today, the fact that we went out, we typically don't go out, so the fact that today we were out in them streets for a while could either exhaust him more, keep him alert more. So we'll see. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated with this when I'm done. All right, you guys. Oops. All right, guys. So I did 10 minutes on each side. I'm not stressing, but the fact that I am not making as much as he's consuming is a realization that we're gonna run out of our stash pretty quickly. So I'm gonna start hitting the 10 minutes now. So today, this one's the first one, which is my 4th pump of the day. And I got a little bit over 4.5. So 4 3/4, no sé. So let me show you guys how I'm gonna store it. So these are the ones that are already in the refrigerator. They've both been cooled down. There was one earlier that I had pumped, right, for my 3rd pump. So I'm gonna now combine these two. I guess this would be like considered the pitcher method, where, you know, people just collect all day and then they have a huge pitcher that they put it in, mix it all, and then at the end of the night they put it into separate bottles for the next day. As of today, I only used one of the pumped bottles, pump milk. So now this one's empty again. I'm gonna get my pump, what I just pumped right now, and put it in this one so that it can cool down in the refrigerator. And now I have this total right there. So this is 3 out of my 4 pumps of the day, okay? So now I'm gonna store this. I'm gonna put it in my app and just see where I'm at. So then I'll go to pumping. I'll go to, what did I just say I had? 4, a little bit over 4. I'll put 4.75. And I'm gonna put in the notes that I did 10 minutes on each side. That way I know, like, why was it a little bit more? Why was it a little bit less? I just like to leave myself little notes to consider. So now for the day, I have pumped 15.98, so almost 16 ounces. But he's already consumed 22.5 ounces. So I'm still behind technically. And also one other thing I wanted to mention was that I am not exclusively pumping, I'm also breastfeeding. So if he wants to breastfeed, or if I ever want to, I can latch him on my boob. But I definitely like the fact that I get to track and see how much he is or isn't consuming in a day. So what I've been doing is during the day, giving him a bottle. And then at night, it's only breastfeeding. So I don't want to lose that latch. So I think that's why I'm holding on to that. But at night, it's just so much easier just to give him the boob, not have to go and warm up a bottle. And what I like about that is that he strictly just eats and goes right back to sleep. Like, I just pop a boob and that's it. So I don't mind that. But yeah, that's where we're at now. All right, you guys. So we are here with our final pump of the day. It is 9:29. So it's pretty much 3 hours after my last pump. This is one of those things you have to consider with pumping, or realizing what it, you know, a couple things that it takes with pumping is the baby already fell asleep about an hour and a half ago. So he's been asleep since 8 p.m. We're done cleaning. We're done. We're ready for bed, and we can't go to bed until I pump. So even though if I was ready for bed at 9 p.m., let's say after the baby, you still have to stay up to meet those, you know, pumps that you want to have. Some people do it every 2 hours. Some people do it every 4 hours. I think I'm gonna do every 3 hours, because every 2 hours seems a little bit, unless it's a necessity, seems a little bit inconvenient for my day, especially once my husband goes back to work. So Right now I'm doing 3 hours, and I did mention earlier that I was gonna start using both of these pumps at the same time to save me time, since I'm gonna do 10 minutes and 10 minutes. But I forgot I can't find this other piece of the Spectra. So I have the tube, I have this, I just don't remember. Since our vacation, everything's kind of scrambled. So before I go and buy another one, I'm just gonna go ahead and try to look for it, maybe tomorrow or this weekend. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on one side, and I'll catch up with you guys in just a sec. So now that I'm plugged in, make sure I cover up a little bit. Some things that I want to throw out there is that, you know, pumping does include its pros and cons. I do love the fact that, yeah, you can't see it. My husband's asking if you can see down here, but you can't. It does have its pros and cons. Of course, if it's a necessity, like you're gonna do it no matter what, right? You're gonna try to pump and produce as much as you can for your child. But one of the things that people say is, you know, is that it's cheaper to breastfeed rather than formula. Once you start adding up all these additional things for pumping, for example, the bottles, then you have the different types of bottle nipples. You have the clean, the ¿cómo se llaman? Brushes that you have to clean the bottles, the dish soap, the dish tray, the bottle cleaner, the sterilizer, the dryer. All of those things start to add up. And then you have your bags to freeze the milk or the bottles that you end up buying for the refrigerator. And then a lot of these parts, they're sold separately. So for example, this phalange I ended up having to buy because it's a different size. The Spectra that we currently have actually was gifted to us, thankfully. Like, I'm so happy because this has worked so well. But our insurance did cover another one, but they only cover up to a certain amount. So even if there's something that's better and something that works better for you, the insurance will only cover to a certain amount. So then you pay out of pocket, which easily out of pocket could be $150 to $250. And then you want to buy certain things that can ease the experience. For example, nipple cream, butter cream. Some people use coconut oil. So all of that starts to add up, and as you use them, you have to replace them. So they'll get old, they'll get their wear and tear. So those are a few things that I could think of literally off the top of my head. And then, you know, so that's financially. Another thing is kind of like the inconvenience. Like if me and my husband are out and about, either we would, like for example, we went out to vacation. When we were out and about, we had to consider coming back. Like even if we were out experiencing something so amazing, or we're out with family, we had to say, okay, well, we got to go back to the hotel room and go ahead and go and pump for my son, right? So the inconvenience of that, the fact that you have to take everything with you. For example, on vacation, we packed everything, and let's just say day a day. I know that when we went today, just to go to the library and to grocery shop, we had to take the pump with us. Then you have to wash everything. So now you're probably buying travel kit. You're probably trying to buy something that's gonna make it easier for you. Or I know my friend used, and eventually we might get one of these, is those water bottles that keep your milk cold, or you can get hot water to warm it up. And those things I think are easily like $50. So it definitely can be a financial burden. It can be very time consuming. It can be very uncomfortable. It could be exhausting, especially in the beginning. I would have to pump overnight. So I'm currently right now at the stage where I'm not pumping throughout the night. I just give my baby the boob and that's it. But if I have to, because there's some nights where I do feel a little engorged, I'm like, this goes like getting up at 2:30 in the morning to pump, but I really don't want to. I really, like, that was my one thing, was just like, if I didn't have to pump throughout the night, because my son started sleeping a little bit better and better, I was like, I would love to sleep when he's sleeping. Now I am gaining a little bit more energy, and he is sleeping better, except for the last couple of days that I've been telling you guys about. So that's where we're at right now. And my son is 3 months, so I am 3 months postpartum. Another thing that comes with breastfeeding is postpartum hair loss. So I believe it's connected to the breastfeeding, considering that you're giving the baby all your vitamins, all the nutrients, all the good stuff that keep you, you know, looking normal. So as of 3 months, I think maybe even a few days after he turned 3 months, I started losing a lot of my hair. I still am just like brushing my hair, and I see a whole bunch on the brush of my hair, and then I brush it again, and it's still so it's definitely another thing that has happened to me. And then again, I mentioned to you guys that I did also get mastitis. I didn't even know what that was. It was so crazy because I swear I've heard everything. I was like, I've heard everything that happens with postpartum, blah, 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 blah. And no, you think you've heard it all, and I'm going to say this over and over again. You don't know what postpartum, what giving birth or pregnancy is until you go through it. And then even then, there's a huge spectrum. Some people have different types of experiences. For example, my pregnancy to me was very difficult to me. Which I thought was going to be the opposite. I thought it was going to be so amazing just to be able to be pregnant and glow and, you know, etc., etc. But I have a friend that had an amazing, smooth pregnancy. And then for my delivery, I was a little bit on the opposite. I thought I was going to like hate it. I thought I was going to be scared. I thought the complete opposite. I felt stronger. I felt more excited. I felt ready. I mean, especially after the drugs they take. but anyways, so my son is 3 months postpartum. I just want to give you guys a little disclaimer that everything is different for everybody, and there's only so much I can explain here for you to understand where I'm coming from. But I attempt to just share what it is that I'm going through, or what it is that I'm hoping to achieve out of all of this. You know, overall, of course, to achieve is to feed my son, but I really want to take this like as a life lesson or something that I can implement to other things, other parts of my life, you know. So yeah, what else, baby?
Calories.
It burns calories.
There's a lot of calories, but that also means you gotta eat a lot.
Okay, so a pro is that, according to my husband, is that there's I guess it is true, according to, you know, science, that you burn so many calories when you're breastfeeding.
You gotta keep an eye on what you eat.
Right. So you have to keep up with those calories that you are burning and losing. And I'm sure with everything else that's happened to your body, you have to make sure you give it its nutrients.
There's a lot of people like want to lose their baby weight.
Yeah.
They're on this crazy diet, but you also gotta keep in mind.
Yes, exactly. So, and it's like, it's something that I didn't realize. Like, okay, yeah, we can just lose weight right after having birth. No. Like, you gotta make sure you smooth your way into it. You gotta consider all the things that you're doing. Oh, the one thing I did want to talk about was when I got mastitis. So, really quickly, when I got mastitis, I had no idea what that was. I didn't even get warned about that at all. Like, everybody had warned me about everything but that. So with mastitis, what happens is that you end up getting a clogged, so it starts off as a clogged duct, so milk that needs to get released, and if you don't take care of it, then it ends up getting harder and harder and harder, and you end up getting red around the boob area, and then you end up, as much as you think, oh, well, I'm just gonna, you know, express myself, or como se dice, release myself from with this, with a pump, sometimes it's so hard that it won't at all. And then they say, oh, well, latch the baby because they have the best suction or whatever for your boob. Even then, they would deny it at certain points because it's just so difficult for them as well. So then you're stuck. I didn't realize. I ended up trying to get in the shower. I ended up trying to, I jumped in the shower and I massaged it and put some warm water over it. I tried to pump. Nothing was coming out until after the shower, a little bit more. I ended up in the emergency room, and it was honestly the worst feeling, just because I had just had a newborn, going to the emergency room with him, and I didn't want him there, you know what I mean? So that stress was horrible. They ended up taking hours and hours, as they do. And then once I got seen, they saw and they just gave me antibiotics. And then we ended up honestly feeling better within like 48 hours. I feel like I got the better end of the mastitis, to be honest. I mean, I never want to go through that again, but I have heard some stories about how people get fevers and people end up getting sick and end up getting flu-like symptoms. So yeah, I did not get that severe of mastitis. I don't know if I just targeted it right away or something, but the way that I noticed I had it wasn't even flu-like symptoms. I was jumping in the shower, and then, you know, as anybody does, looks at themselves in the mirror. No, I'm just kidding. But that day I did, and I noticed that I had like red around my boob area, and I was like, this doesn't seem right. Like, it didn't seem normal, and it was like a lot of red veiny, and it wasn't like stretch marks. It was like almost like it looked like a rash, but it wasn't. So then when I Googled it, that's what came up. It kept coming up, and then I called the hotline nurse, and that's what they said it was. So then they told me to go to the emergency room, because obviously I called my doctor and they don't have an immediate appointment available. So anyways, just something to consider if you guys are currently breastfeeding. Check out what mastitis is. Look it up, because I would rather you go and prevent it than have to go through it. Yeah, so the lactation specialist told us that it's very common in overproducers, but I would just recommend anybody that's producing any type of milk to know about that. All right, you guys, this is what I ended with, which is just above the 4 mark. Oh, you can't even see it, but this is the 4 mark. It's because they should have this color coordinated, to be honest. So it's just right above the 4 mark. So I'm gonna go here, and then I'm gonna go to, let's see, pumping, and then I'm gonna go to 4, and then I'm gonna put right here 10 minutes each side, and then it saves. So this is what it looks like for the day. So the bottle is what I've given to him, then I pumped, then there was a nap, there was also a bottle and a pump at the same time, then a nap, bottle, pump, bottle, pump. So I'm gonna try to give him another dream feed, let's say at 11. No, right now. Actually, I'm just gonna do it right now. And then I think, let me show you guys once I... Alright, you guys, so this is what I've pumped for the day. This is what I could put away in the freezer. I'm actually gonna give him a dream feed, and I'm gonna use this milk right now. That way, whatever he doesn't use, I'm gonna freeze it right away. I'm just gonna try to feed him. And then what I'm gonna do with this, I'm just gonna store this in the freezer now. So let's do that real quick. So let's put this, oh, actually I'm gonna use this bottle so I don't have to dirty another bottle. Let's see. So I'm gonna get my Sharpie. When he seems fussy and I'm like, are you hungry or you're not? Maybe you just need a little snack. I'll give him this. And then this is what I'm gonna give him right now. So as you can tell, I didn't end up freezing everything that I pumped. So yeah, so that's my process so far as my breastfeeding journey. So this is my stash. Hey guys, so my son did take 3 of those 4 ounces during his dream feed right now. Dream feed just means that he's still technically asleep, but he's eating, and he had not ate since about like 7:30, maybe 7:20. So technically he ate at 10 p.m. It's about almost 3 hours later that he ate the dream feed, which was great, which means that he wanted to eat more than just like an ounce, or you know, just to top him off. It was 3 ounces that he ate, so that made today's total 30 ounces. Oh my god, I'm so happy. The goal was to try to get from between 27 and 32, so I'm really happy. Let's see how that goes. It's obviously the first night that he's gonna have a full belly or full day of eating, so let's see how he does. Let's see if he's gonna have to eat more tomorrow. Of course, it was a lot of work invested in trying to make sure he ate 30 ounces. So tomorrow I think I'm just gonna stick to 30 ounces again. That's the goal, not anymore. And then let's just see how the night goes. So I will update you guys tomorrow. That's the final of my breastfeeding pumping day in a day, because I do not pump throughout the night. So I'll update you guys tomorrow morning though on how the sleep went, because I feel like if this works, por favor, I would definitely consider doing it over and over and recommending it to people if they ask, only if they ask. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the morning.